Hello and welcome to another news update. I might be changing the name of this segment since 5 minutes is more accurate than Liberty Minute. We'll see. Popular suggestions include Liberty Factor, Liberty Brief, and the Liberty 5. Let me know what you guys think. Today's episode is brought to you guys with the help of Palmetto State Armory. You can use my link down in the description to help out the channel when shopping for your gear at PSA. Starting off the news, Gamestop surged again yesterday, flying up 104% following an administrative shakeup at the company. It closed the day at $91, with after-hours trading bringing it close to $200. The stock opened the day at $170 this morning, leaving all of the financial talking heads confused and scratching their heads, wondering how this could ever happen again. To which retail investors the world over said,
"As for me, I like the stock."
Diamond hands. Yesterday, we learned that the FDA analysis of Johnson & Johnson's single-dose COVID vaccine says that it is safe and effective. According to the documents, the vaccine is about 67% effective against moderate to severe cases and 77 to 84% effective against critical cases. The data released only shows results for up to 28 days after vaccination. The U.S. government has an agreement with J&J to provide 100 million doses by the end of June. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization is reporting that worldwide deaths from COVID dropped 20% last week, and the total number of cases also fell globally for the 6th week in a row. The Biden administration is likely going to try to find a way to take credit. A 105-year-old woman from New Jersey was reported as beating COVID-19 on Tuesday. She contracted COVID 1 day after her second vaccination in January. Lucia Leclerc, who lives in a nursing home, showed few symptoms of the illness and attributed her speedy recovery to good health and gin-soaked raisins. Tiger Woods was in a serious one-car rollover accident in California on Tuesday. He sustained serious leg injuries that required a long surgical procedure. Yesterday, the LA County Sheriff said that the accident occurred around 7 a.m., that speed likely contributed, and that there were no signs that Woods had been under the influence, and thus no charges will be brought. Mitt Romney and Tom Cotton have disclosed that they plan to introduce legislation that would raise the federal minimum wage to $10. Proponents of the measure are largely inexpensive blue states and say that no one can live on less than $10 an hour, not realizing that in some places of the country you can rent an entire house for the price of a studio apartment in Boston. The measure would apply to all businesses, even those with less than 20 employees, which is an excellent plan during a time already plagued by high unemployment and record numbers of business closures. It also is set to include the use of E-Verify to limit the number of employers providing jobs to illegal immigrants. Overall, the proposal is better than Biden's $15 minimum wage for obvious reasons, but will still result in increased market prices, decreased hours, and job losses because that's just what happens. I have a whole video about it with the data up in the cards if you're interested. The mainstream media is continuing with their softball coverage of Joe Biden. SNL still hasn't touched him a month after he took office. The Hill, Washington Post, New York Times, and Newsweek all ran stories about him playing Mario Kart at Camp David over the weekend, and have this week turned the Kids in Cages headlines to Kids in Migrant Overflow Facilities. The structural integrity of these facilities has not changed, and the program housing them started under Obama. It also came out this week that Biden's nominee to run the CIA, William Burns, has ties to the Chinese Communist Party, because at this point, everyone in his administration does. The NYPD has announced they're testing out a new AI robot dog, ensuring that that really creepy episode of Black Mirror becomes real life. The robot, built by Boston Dynamics, was used to clear a crime scene on Tuesday in the Bronx and is creepy as f***. And finally, there is a battle going on between Democrat and Republican lawmakers in Congress and various alphabet agencies, as 2 House reps from California have petitioned several cable, satellite, and video streaming companies, pressuring them to ditch Fox News and Newsmax for spreading misinformation and violence. Two Republican commissioners of the FCC pointed out that that is a clear free speech violation meant to censor political dissent, but the left doesn't care. That's it for the news. Please check out my channel for longer videos that look at single topics, as well as my weekly live streams that air every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.